We are back, and unfortunately, we're talking about this stupid Prime card yet again. But we are fresh off of UFC 294, and oh my god, Islam Makhachev. Who would have thought? Freaking head kick. I honestly, I was rooting for Volk, but I did predict that Islam would win, but I thought it was either going to be a dominant performance, or I thought it was going to be another close fight and ultimately go to the judges' scorecards. I don't think anyone was expecting that head kick. That was crazy. But to get on to the main topic of this video, on this Misfits Prime card, we have not one, not two, not three, four, or five, but six freaking appeals. This is the Misfits appeal card. Because what is going on? So let's run through them real quick. We got Alexia Grace appealing her decision loss to Astrid Wet. Alexia, come on now, man. You can't win a fight just walking forward, throwing those little sloppy arm punches. You just can't do it. You can't expect to win a fight when that's all you're doing. I'm sorry. Yeah, your output was crazy. Your output was good. You threw a lot of shots. But you can't expect to win a fight by throwing those little sloppy arm punches like Logan Paul does against someone who's actually sitting down on their shots throwing some power. This appeal is 100% not going to go through. Everyone thought Astrid Wet won the fight anyways. So definitely shouldn't get overturned. Next up, Chase Damore and Temple Arts getting appealed. I get it. You know, we all thought Chase Damore won. But let's be real, man. This is boxing. This is combat sports. You know, and at the end of the day, this isn't like the professional scene where it is kind of damaging to your career. In Misfits and influencer boxing, it's all about entertainment, bro. No one really cares if you're undefeated. Look at Pineda. Look at Swarms. Nobody really cares if you're undefeated. People just want to see you entertain and put on a good fight. That's all people really care about in this scene. So why do you care? And everyone thought you won. That should help you be in your favor, because if you go to Mams Taylor, maybe get the rematch, I don't think people would be opposed to it, number one, because people probably felt that you won. And number two, if you don't get the rematch, go out there, get another fight, win it, then you have a good argument for the rematch. And I think people won't be opposed to it. Look, this is freaking influencer boxing, all right, man? It ain't that serious. You don't know. Everyone doesn't need to be undefeated in influencer boxing. Just put on a good fight. I'm sure Misfits and Mams Taylor will take care of you. The fans will be on your side. Go out there, put on another show, ask for the rematch, and should you get it, either knock the guy out to take the judges out of the equation, or you're going to have to fight a super dominant fight and make it obvious that you're the winner. And now another appeal. Both Alex Wasabi and Team Los Pineda Coladas appealed their tag team match. Okay, so apparently it's looking like both B-Dave and Pineda feel as though they have won, and Alex Wasabi feel as though his team won, which I think this fight, you maybe can argue that Alex Wasabi and Nick LMAO probably should have won, just because the knockdown that was scored on Alex Wasabi can be seen as a little bit controversial. You know, maybe he slipped, maybe he tripped. I don't know. The camera angles don't really show his footing, so you can't really see. But, you know, a draw is a draw. Just run it back. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know why you feel the need to appeal this. Just run it back. Okay, it's that simple. It was a draw. It's not like you lost. It was a draw. Run it back on the next event. It was a fun fight. It was an entertaining fight. Just leave it at that and just move on. And next is Dylan Dennis appealing his DQ loss to Logan Paul. So look, this fight is, in my opinion, I don't think any of these should be overturned, honestly. But this fight is the one that's most likely to get overturned, in my opinion, out of all of them. But I don't think it should. But most likely, just because of all the BS going on, everything that was happening. And he does have an excuse for Logan Paul punching him in the face while he's down. But he went for a guillotine. He's trying to say that he went to clinch and Logan pushed him down and he didn't pull guard. So I don't know if the footage will seem like that was the case, but Logan did hit his ass when he was down. So I don't know. Dylan Dennis thinks he has an excuse. If I'm the PBA, I'm looking at this, I'm like, bro, who cares? Just move on. Take the loss. This is going to be your only fight in boxing. So why do you care? Why do you care to appeal the only fight you're ever going to have in boxing? You're saying you're going to go back to MMA. Go back to MMA. And why do you care? And then the main event, the uneventful main event, KSI Tommy Fury If you haven't already, feel free to go check out that video I made comparing Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. A lot of people, having different opinions, but that's what I like. That's what's good about these type of sports. We can all formulate our own opinion, especially with a close fight like this. We can all formulate our own opinion. Some people think this guy won. Some people think that guy won. It is what it is, man. That's what's good about this sport. The funny thing is my brothers and I used to we still do. We argue all the time about like stoppages, whether there's a good stoppage or bad stoppage, or in a close decision. We would think one person won, but another one would think the other guy won, and we would argue about that. That's what's good about this sport. We can argue our opinions all we want, and it's our opinions. We're entitled to our opinion, just like the judges are. And I know a lot of people also are saying, which I mentioned in that video, looking at the CompuBox score is kind of a bad idea because there's a lot of factors that go into scoring rounds. But I did say for that video's sake, we were just going to look at that one number. But it is a one, the punch count is one of multiple factors that go into scoring fights. So for that reason, you got to respect the decision. You just got to. I mean, KSI Tommy Fury, there wasn't a lot going on. There really wasn't. If you look at that breakdown, there was rounds where there was 2 or 3 strike differentiation. And normally those rounds could go to either guy because the punch count's so close. But since there was so much inactivity, those 2 or 3 punches hold a lot more weight. So it's just really, really tough to score. Plus, I would rather, instead of appealing, I would rather sit down with the judges and ask them and go round by round and just see, plus it would be good content, and just see what their thought processes were in scoring each round. Because there was a lot of shots that could have been deemed insignificant that they didn't count. And then there could have been really good shots that they did deem as significant that counted. So I would just like to see how the scoring system went, because they definitely landed more strikes than were shown in CompuBox, but a lot of them were those little pity-patty type shots to the body. Very similar to what Anthony Taylor does in the clinch. I don't really think those punches should count, honestly. I mean, they should go in your favor, as in like, all right, you're showing that you're working, but I don't think those should count as genuine strikes landed, in my opinion. And there was a lot of that. So it's going to be very, very hard to score. So I don't think they should overturn this. I think you just sit the judges down, let them go round by round. It'll be good content for Misfits too. Let them go round by round and explain their scoring system, explain why they scored the rounds the way that they scored it. Hey man, I'm sure that video would go stupid viral. Why not, Misfits? Why not? But I don't think any of these fights are really going to get overturned. It never really happens. You see all these robberies and big time pro boxing fights, and they never, to be honest, the fighters never really appeal it, because I think that's the more honorable thing to do. Like, look at Face Sensei. Face Sensei could have easily appealed his fight against King Kenny. Everyone thought Face Sensei won, me included. I thought it was a landslide, Face Sensei. And, he did the honorable thing. He said, I'm going to just take my loss on the chin. Everyone thought I won, so it's a win. It is what it is. He understands that it's really not that serious. This influencer boxing scene, it's really not that serious, man. In pro boxing, it can turn over your whole career. That's different. But in this scene, just putting on good fights, you could lose every fight. Just like I said, look at Swarms losing his fights. Look at Pineda. Look at Deji. These guys are still huge and big draws. Just put on good fights, man. That's all you got to do. But the only solution to this is if Mams Taylor and Misfits, they decide to go with like 10 judges. Go with more judges. Hire a lot more judges. Therefore, you're going to get much more majority decision. And, most likely whoever the winner is most likely going to win, because you got more people making this decision. So if you're tired of all these little appeals, either tell them kick rocks, you can't appeal, or get more judges. That's the only way I think this problem can be solved, because now we're seeing appeal left and right, and I expect the next Misfits card to be the same. And from now on, now they're going to see this little trend that's going on. And, as we all know, influencers are all about trends. So they're going to see this little trend going on. And next thing you know, we're going to see appeals from every freaking fight card now. So, I think they should try to resolve this immediately. But of course, I'm interested to see what appeals you guys think may go through, what may not. I think none of them are going to go through, but maybe some of you think the KSI appeal is going to go through. Maybe some of you think the Chase Demore, Dylan Dennis. You got the tag team fight, and then you got the Alexia Grace. So of all the appeals, which one do you think may just get overturned, or do you think none of them will get overturned? I'm interested to see what your thoughts are. Feel free to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you all so much for the support, and I'll catch you all in the next video.